Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian Bermudez. America. For the longest time, the United States has held its highest point at the international community. But over the past decade, the United States has lost its influence in many parts of the world, and other strategic players have had to fill the void. Perhaps the most important of these strategic players is China, a developing country with the world's second most powerful economy that continues to grow at rates that we cannot even imagine. If we were to talk about who the most influential people in the world are as of right now, I would have to say that the currently new elected president of China, Xi Jinping, would have to be on that list. Not because of what he has done up to this point, but because of the weight that his future actions and decisions will have on the country of China and the world, especially the United States, which is closely tied to China at this point. But who is Xi Jinping? Today, he is the president of China, but this powerful figure has had very humble beginnings. He was born in 1953 in Fuping County, Shaanxi Province. His father was Shi Zhongzhen, one of the founding fathers of the Chinese Communist Party. However, his father held the position of vice premier in the Chinese Communist Party until he was purged from the party and sent to the countryside to work, and later he would be imprisoned as well. For those of you who don't know what purging is, in the Communist Party, a person is purged when the party sees that they have lost idea of what it is to be communist, or if the party sees that the person is growing too powerful in their eyes. And so what the party does is, the party sends the purged person to the countryside to work along the common folk. Xi Jinping was also purged during his teen years, and he was sent to live in the town of Liangjie for 7 years in the countryside to work along the village folk. A local village official who knew Mr. Xi at the time described him as very sincere, honest, and hardworking. He was just like one of them, so everybody really liked them. Xi Jinping considered this moment of his life to be one of the most important aspects of it because it taught him the value of hard work. After completing his work in the countryside, he joined the Chinese Communist Party in the year of 1974, and for the majority of his early career, he was a party secretary and continued to work his way up the ladder until he became governor of major provinces such as Fujian. He received his undergraduate education in chemical engineering from the chemical engineering department at Tsinghua University in 1979, and he received his degree in law in 2002 from the same university. But why is Xi Jinping so important today? He is part of a generation known as the Princelings. And basically what the Princelings were, they are a generation that owe their positions in the Communist Party to their family members, their parents, and other past ancestors, as well as other connections that they had. And it is because of these connections and sense of entitlement that they have that they are highly criticized by the Chinese people. Which brings us to the question of how this generation and Xi himself will better the country of China overall. Xi is the voice of the common people. He is seen as pro-business for his efforts to bring foreign investments to the areas that he governed at the time as a governor, primarily those of Fujian and Zhejiang. Xi is convinced that his generation's hardships will give him and the party the strength to face the challenges that the new evolving China faces day to day. He has provided China with reform programs designed to move millions to cities, move state-owned businesses so that they're not state-owned, as well as streamline bureaucracy and fight political corruption, which is a major pressing problem in China at the moment. Most recently, however, he aided the United States against a nuclear Korea by siding with the United States and showing the world that China is willing to work with the rest of the world. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the big question, which is, what does Xi have in store for China? Will he show us that China is indeed a paper tiger or a fire-breathing dragon? And what role does he propose for China in the international community? So many questions and so little answers. But know this, ladies and gentlemen, the balance of power in the international community has changed, and it will never be the same ever again. China is continuing to carve its way up into the international community, and Xi Jinping will play an extremely pivotal role in China's inclusion in the rest of the world, and perhaps even better, having better alliances with the United States one day in the future. Thank you.